it's becoming rather clear that we are getting closer and closer to the possibility that Patrick Kane will be a Buffalo Sabre.
It's great for jersey revenues. It's great for getting butts in the seat,
which is just the most important
reasons
in signing a player,
exactly.
Right?
Most important reason. We've made our opinions pretty clear on where we stand with Patrick Kane.
But in case you need a refresher, why don't we go into this? Because
Jesus, here we go.
I just want to put things into perspective for a second here. One of the greatest pure playmakers in NHL history got taken down by this hip replacement surgery less than a week ago. Nicholas Backstrom had to step away from the game of hockey less than a week ago with the same exact surgery that Patrick Kane got. This is not an example where you could say, oh, the last time this player received this surgery was 2015 or something. We're so much farther along in the technology, the recovery. This was a week ago. A week ago. A week ago. So one of the greatest pure playmakers that we've seen this generation had to step away from the game. And I'm supposed to expect that Patrick Kane is going to solve some big issues on this team, because that's what this is. The Sabres are not 10-2 and rolling, and maybe their one fatal flaw is the power play, or even then, maybe they're just looking for a little bit of scoring depth, and they're going to take a chance on Patrick Kane. This team is stumbling over themselves right now. They can't get anything going on the offensive side of the puck. You won't get me with, oh, they just think he's going to be a power play guy. He's coming in to help
He's going to be playing minutes.
He's going to be getting big minutes.
He's going to be getting big minutes. And, yeah, are we expected to believe two guys coming off injuries, Quinn and possibly Patrick Kane, are the answers to why this team isn't in the place it needs to be right now? You expect me to believe that? No, not at all. I don't believe that. This team, this forward group, it goes deeper than what the players on the ice are playing like right now. This needs a change. That needs it needs a schematic change. It needs something. And not only that, you know what? No, I backtrack a little bit because we talked about this. It does have to do with some of the players that are on the ice, and specifically the time on ice share that they're getting. But I really think this team could do for some sort of schematic adjustment before you go anywhere into thinking, oh, we need to bring in another free agent. Because, again, circling back, there is a 19-year-old tearing up the AHL right now. Why is he still down there? And I know Rochester is injured to hell right now, but still, who cares? It's your affiliate. Call him up.
That's the funniest thing about all of this, isn't it? It's not like, okay, Benson, you had to send him back to the WHL. Savoy, you had to send him back to the WHL. You're kind of out of ideas here. You got to try something. You have a 19-year-old who is scoring most of his points at even strength, but is great on the power play. In your system, you could call him up for free. You just played a lineup with 11 forwards the other night. He's right there. And this is what they're going to choose to do.
Is it one of those things where it's so close to your face you can't see it? Because Sabres have done that a lot.
I mean, and you have to be careful because, like you said, like the Amherst are injured to hell right now. It's actually, you look at their injured list, it's kind of ridiculous.
It's like the Bills injury report.
But I don't know, just send Lucas Rusek down. He's a good player for them too. At the end of the day, you have to make a decision on what means more to you.
Yeah, just swap them. Send Rusek down, then call Kulik up.
God, send Peyton Krebs down.
Yeah, even him. He could benefit the team down there.
He has a few more days of waiver eligibility, I think, of waiver exempt eligibility. Send him down, for God's sake. If you want him to get, I mean, God, he'll get so much ice time down there. You need to make a call here. You can't
keep rolling with this. It's not working.
You need some type of spark, and
You're spinning your tires right now. It's unreal. You need to move some guy. You need to do it in the organization, not trade for someone. Because bringing in Patrick Kane coming off of hip resurfacing surgery is not going to help this team, as much as a lot of people out there believe it. And I've seen those takes, and I'm sorry, but I don't agree with any of them.
Right,
he is not helping this team if he is on this roster.
And he is
causing more harm than help, at least.
And it's so funny because whenever I'm talking about the concerns I have over this surgery that has ended multiple NHL careers, at times I'm told I just need to remember that people heal differently, that the process goes differently for everyone. And I'm just supposed to expect that he's going to be okay because he's Patrick Kane? That doesn't make that doesn't give me any more confidence. It doesn't. You cannot get me on that. And I'm honestly just sick of this situation. You know what it's giving me flashbacks to, which is weird? It's almost giving me flashbacks to the Eichel trade saga. Not to that level, where that just felt like hopeless. But here it's like, I've been hearing about this for so long. I mean, God, I've been hearing about Patrick Kane coming to the Sabres since we were kids. I mean, since probably Jack Eichel's first season on this team.
Oh, yeah.
I've been hearing about this for, 8 years now. And, man, I just would never have expected this to be the regime that decided to pull the trigger. I mean, it's clear they want him. They want him.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this, I was talking about this, I think, with JP the other night. There are 3 people in this organization that I think want Patrick Kane. There's probably like 3 people. I mean, there's probably more.
The three
it's
head
Patrick.
honchos.
It's Patrick Kane, but you probably have 3 people in this organization that really want him. Unfortunately, it's the 3 most important people in this organization. It's probably Terry Pegula, it's probably Kevin Adams, and it's probably Don Granato. Terry Pegula, he's probably wanted him for forever. I mean, he's Patrick Kane. He's going to sell tickets. He's going to help your franchise in that way. Kevin Adams, they roomed together in Chicago years and years ago.
That's wild.
And Don Granato was his coach, was the assistant coach for the Blackhawks a few years back. So there's connections with all 3 of those guys.
And all 3 of them want him. That's how I was trying to justify it, but you make a better point. I really thought it was mostly Terry wanting this because as this regime has gone, they've made significant strides in their data analytics department, and they've been very scientific with which players they go after, not just, eye tests and physicals and whatnot. Reputations. But now that you mentioned it, that makes more sense. But I still really think Terry is pushing to get this guy in the building. I know, knowing Terry Pegula and knowing how he's operated this organization over the past 12 years, he's definitely the guy who's pushing for him the hardest.
And look, I get it. Okay? It's Showtime. It's Patrick Kane. It's, for some people, someone that made them fall in love with the game of hockey. I mean, I remember back then when the Sabres were knee-deep in the tank years. I was like a half Blackhawks fan. You're a typical young kid who just likes watching good teams during those years. And I loved Patrick Kane. I did. And I know it would be such a cool moment to sign him for so many people. I know it would be so cool for people to see him wearing a goat head jersey.
It'd be cool for him, too.
The fact, for him it would probably be cool. That's something you couldn't even conceive of. Patrick Kane in a goat head jersey. Like, if you said that to someone like 5 years ago, it's like a crazy statement. I get it's a storybook moment. And frankly, if you're talking about like the wider NHL, like if you're talking different outlets, all these major hockey outlets, it's a good story for the team.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take a step back, it's a bona fide Hall of Famer with 3 cups to his name and a legacy. It's a generational legacy. It's a guy who's won so many awards and been the key contributor for so many teams, coming back to his hometown while they're on the up and up. It's going to be a good story for the team initially, and people are going to run with that. I mean, it's like after the whistle tweeted out, Buffalo versus Chicago on November 19th. What a storyline. I mean, yeah, it's a storyline, and it's going to be some goodwill for the organization.
You know what this kind of reminds me of? This is kind of similar to when the Maple Leafs signed Eric Lindros, like well after he was cooked. It's like he was so good for the Flyers and the organization he played for a while, and then he's from London, right by Toronto. That was his hometown team. He went back to Toronto. He was cooked. It's going to be the same thing, I think. I think it's a cool moment for the organization. It's a cool moment for that player because you're fulfilling a lifelong dream of playing for your hometown team. But at the end of the day, this is a business. You're in the business of winning hockey games. Patrick Kane will probably do more harm than goodwill with this hockey organization if he plays big minutes.
And that's the thing, right? Like, he's going to play big minutes.
Yeah.
We've made the comparison jokingly that he's basically just Victor Olofsson. And while that is still kind of true, I mean, if they're bringing Patrick Kane in, I mean, yeah, they want him to solve the 5v5 issues like we said, but he's probably primarily here to fix the power play, which is at like 10.2% right now, which is a whole other thing.
Feels like it should be way lower than that.
And supposedly they're bringing him in here to do that. At least Victor Olofsson, Granato, has gotten to the point where he's scratching him most of these games. Do you think they're ever going to get to that point with Kane?
No.
You think they'll ever decide to scratch him?
Probably
not.
Probably
not.
They'll keep him around the lineup as long as they can, especially if he's on a multi-year deal. If he's on a multi-year deal, you can kiss the fact of him getting scratched this season goodbye because he's not at all.
And my thing is, I don't even think he's that good on the power play. I don't think it's personnel that's just going to fix this problem. We've said it before. It's probably more philosophical.
Yeah.
They need to do more things than throw a 35-year-old on there to change stuff.